Hey, my name's Ian Begley. You're watching the NBA Exchange with Dexter Henry.
What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. It's your boy Dexter Henry here for the NBA Exchange. We are in the last week of the NBA regular season. Unbelievably. Can't believe it. It's April. We are here. Last week of the NBA regular season. And still there's a lot to be decided. We're looking ahead to the playoffs. I know if you guys are like me, you can't wait for the playoffs to start. So joining me today, I'm really excited. Special guest joining me. Actually, it's our first time e-meeting. We have known each other through social media for some time, follow each other, we've chatted with each other, but we've never actually seen each other. And this is the first time we'll be doing it. She has a new gig that I'm really excited for her about with Bally Sports. That is Kelsey Nelson. Kelsey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to join you and see what you look like officially on camera. As you said, it's our first time finally getting face to face. It's always nice to put a name to face, Dexter. So I'm glad you look like your profile pic. No catfishing here.
Yeah. No, we can't have the catfishing and doing shows. I'm glad you look like your profile pic too. No catfishing. Not that I doubted you. Not that I thought anything would be wrong. But I'm really glad to have you on the show, and I'm excited for this. You've done a lot of great work over the years. We are two award-winning journalists here.
Worked hard for those awards, folks.
Absolutely.
We're going to add more, Dexter, all right?
That's right.
We're working hard for more to the arsenal.
That's right. We are going to add more. Kelsey, she hails from DC native, representing the DMV to the fullest. So, Kelsey, I want you to let the people know a little bit about your background and also your new gig with Bally Sports. Like what's going on? You're now going to be doing a lot of NBA stuff, which I'm excited about. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you'll be doing with Bally Sports.
Of course. Well, super excited to join the Bally Sports family. I'm hoping everybody's already watching Bally Sports, but if not, make sure you subscribe now. In the words of Fergie, let's play some basketball. Super excited to join them and get ready for NBA playoff coverage. As you said, Dexter, crazy to think, but we're winding down the NBA regular season, but perfect time for me to get into the loop, especially since we won't be playing playoff basketball here in DC, but that's a whole nother topic I know we'll talk about later. But as Dexter said, I'm from the DC area, University of Maryland graduate in Georgetown, so we won't talk about my basketball teams because we're going to keep positive energy on this show. But I've worked for a lot of different companies. I started off with SB Nation for the Testudo Times, covering Maryland football when I was an undergraduate student. I've also covered the sidelines for Georgetown, working with the Big East Digital Network, and also DCW 50 for Georgetown football games. I worked with the Office of Cable Television, Film, Movies, and Entertainment here in DC as well. I also had a great season with the Commanders when we were the NFC East Division champions. So that's when there were happier times in Washington, especially with that Commanders team, doing 2 digital shows for them and 1 television show. And also I've had a chance to work with Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus on Masson. I work for Fox Sports Radio as well. I'm hosting my own podcast show and radio show, Listen In with KNN, which I hope everyone checks out. And I'm also teaching Intro to Media and Podcasting and Radio. So basically my hands are in a lot of different things. I also do a lot in the education world, but just kind of my whole life story, Dexter, in the shortest form that I could give it to you.
Here's the thing, Kelsey. You know, usually when people ask me what I do and all the things I do, I feel like you're the first person I've probably met where your list is just as long as mine, right? Like there's a lot of things.
Criteria.
Yeah, but you got to let people know. You got to let them know that you've been out here grinding. You're still grinding. You're still doing a lot. You're shining in multiple places. So blessings to you, sister. And so so just to let everybody know, Kelsey will be starting her coverage on air hosting with Bally Sports starting April 16th. Started the playoffs, so you can check that out. She's going to be doing a lot of good stuff there. Brandon Scoop Robinson, who we know does a lot of stuff there as well too. He will be doing some stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing both you guys doing some stuff together. So
Dexter, we're bringing the best of the East Coast. Scoop hails from I hail from DC, so DC and New York can be friends, and we're going to make sure that we bring you all some great coverage and represent the East Coast well, which we all know is the best coast.
Absolutely, none of that West Coast talk here. So I'm really excited for you, sis. with that. And, throughout the playoffs, I hope to have you back on some more so we can talk some
I'd
more
be
about
honored
this.
and delighted. As long as I get the invite back, Dexter, I'll be sure to join you.
All right. Now you know that I didn't catfish you. I think that this can definitely.
Now I know you're a real person and you weren't just trying to fish me around. So now
Nah, so it's good.
I love New York. Always love joining New York. New York shows, New York people.
Same here. I got love for DC. We'll talk a little bit about that after too. But let's talk some NBA. Okay.
Let's do it.
The biggest teams, Kelsey, at this start of this season, the favorites. A lot of people talked about the Nets. A lot of people talked the Lakers having a chance. Let's start with the Lakers. Okay.
You're choosing violence early, Dexter, with this one.
Yeah. We gotta go right into it. So the Lakers, they lost 2 games this weekend, Kelsey. They are 2 games back of the 10th spot for the play-in tournament. They have 4 games to go. So the question for me is really simple. I want to know what you have to say. Will the Lakers make the play-in tournament, or is this season going to be even more of a disaster than we already know it to be?
All right. So we were talking about catfishing earlier, and I feel like both the Lakers and the Nets did that all to us, right? We believe what was on paper. We thought the Tinder profile that they were giving us was true, but lo and behold, we found out all the flaws through the course of the season. And now here we are looking at a Lakers team that unfortunately has been made a mockery of every time you go on social media. And now we're looking at that play-in tournament. If I'm real with you, Dexter, I don't even know if the fans want them to be there. I feel like the fans are like, all right, okay, enough embarrassment. Let's just get on. We're looking forward to next season. And hopefully next season we can be the Lakers team that we want to be. But right now we know they've been playing spin the bottle or, doing musical chairs, and we're looking at that Spurs team. And so we know the Lakers, of course, they control their own destiny. But I think right now it's very bleak looking, Lakers fans. And I know there's a lot of you out there. I know you guys have been through a lot of emotions this season, and I don't want to be the person to continue to break your heart. But right now, Dexter, I'm just not confident in this Los Angeles Lakers team. And once again, I don't even know if the fans want them there because I just feel like they just don't know what they're going to get from that Lakers team. I think that's been the big problem with this Lakers team is consistency this season, and we just haven't seen that. And also, we thought this would be a team that there would be depth. But lo and behold, when we talk about depth, we're not usually talking about this Los Angeles Lakers team, Dexter. We're talking about maybe the Memphis Grizzlies and other teams like that. So I feel like when we look at this Lakers team and we're looking at that last play-in spot, again, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And yeah, I think we're just enough of the misery right now. We want the Lakers to be back to the dynasty that we know they can be. But this season, unfortunately, just everything kind of went wrong. And it's been a series of unfortunate events. So yeah, we've had enough. We're good.
I think from what I hear from Laker fans, I think it's the same thing, right? They're like, let's just get this over with. We don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, let's speed this up. Like, why delay the inevitable? They have no chance. LeBron comes back, rolls his ankle. He couldn't play yesterday. It's just
even with AD, he can't be a savior. So it's like, it's like at this point, like you said, LeBron on the bench, it's just not the Lakers that we're used to, right? Lakers fans have been, they've been sipping on their pina coladas for a long time and living in this paradise world where now they've gotten a reality check and they've seen what it is to play in the NBA and have to deliver each and every night you step onto that basketball court. Mm-hmm. And again, right now it's crazy. We didn't think at the beginning of the season, like the 2 teams that we thought, again, folks, we got catfish. All of us got bamboozled. And we're like, what in the world happened? Like if you traveled across the seas and didn't have your phone for a while and you come back to America, you're like what the hell just happened? Like, where are the teams that I expected? And unfortunately, they're not the teams that are sitting on top of the East and West, respectively. So I think right now, sorry, Lakers fans, but I hope you guys have vacation plans. Maybe your kids have spring break plans, and maybe you guys can get ready for those.
It looks like it's gonna be 1, 2, 3 Cancun for the Lakers for sure. It looks like it's definitely gonna be that. All right, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the best coast, East Coast, Brooklyn, where I am from. Will the Brooklyn Nets? They've had some very questionable play to me in the last week or so, Kelsey. The defense hasn't looked good. They are now 10th in the East as we head into games tomorrow. What do you think about them? Will they make it out the play-in tournament? Because right now it looks like they might be in the 9 or 10 spot, which means they would have to win 2 games to make the playoffs. Do you think this Brooklyn Nets team makes it out of the play-in tournament?
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on them. And, you talk about you being from Brooklyn. Well, you guys have a guy from our area that we like to call.
Look at you.
I had to shout him out, Dexter. We love KD in DC. And one day, KD, we need you to come home. But that's a whole nother topic. But nonetheless, when I look at this Nets team, the task is very heavy for KD. It's heavy for Kyrie, who's finally getting comfortable, I think, in that rotation. And remember, this was supposed to be a team that had a big 3. We know that took a hit. Obviously, James Harden is now in Philadelphia. And I think so much pressure pressure on KD and Kyrie to continue to look to deliver. They can't have bad nights. And even when they're both playing well, again, when they go back to the depth, they don't have that depth right now in Brooklyn. Things aren't clicking right now. So I think when you look at the task that's ahead, it's going to be hard for this Brooklyn team. And if we're being honest, when we look in the East, that's having really great stellar play. This is why when you look at the top of the East, we have this 4-team horse race that is trying to claim the East. And it's exciting. First off, as somebody that's covered the East for a long time, how lucky are we right now that we get to have this competition playing in the East? But right now, the Brooklyn Nets just have not lived up to expectation. Again, I think their star players are being asked too much too soon. And I think with playoffs quickly looming, it's going to be a lot for the Nets to hopefully continue. Now, I'm never going to count out KD. I think he is a great player. Let's put some respect on his name. And if you don't, he will come for you on Twitter anyway. So you might as well just put it on him. But again, it's a lot for KD and Kyrie to try to keep this team going throughout the playoffs and trying to eventually, hopefully bring them a championship home when these other teams are stacked and loaded, and they have getting healthier and healthier by the minute. So I'm sorry. I know it's your hometown, Dexter, but the Nets, again, I want well for them, but it's just going to be really hard for them going forward.
No, I'm in agreement with you because of the concerns that I have for them around the defensive end. And the other point I think you brought up that's really good is the fact that they just haven't had a lot of time with their pieces to gel together. The injuries, the whole vaccination situation with Kyrie, excuse me, it's been really tough for them. So you don't see him getting out of the play-in tournament. Now, look, that'll be a very disappointing year here in Brooklyn if that happens. That is not a good thing.
They're going to be the laughing stock of the league. I feel like if that happens,
I feel like
high expectations. Like you guys be there with a goal in mind. And then to fall that short, it would be really heartbreaking. I'm not even from Brooklyn, but my heart would be broke.
Listen, I will make it clear. I am from Brooklyn, but I grew up a Knicks fan. So
look at you having to put that disclaimer.
Yeah. We got
Brooklyn Nets fans.
Well, you said it, not me. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but I rep Brooklyn to the fullest. So I will say that. Okay, you talked about how the top of the East is jumbled up right now, and it is. Miami is in first. They got a 2-game lead over the Celtics right now. They've been playing some fantastic basketball. Bucks are 2.5 back. Sixers also 2.5 back. So who finishes with the number 1 seed in the East, Kelsey? Who do you think comes out with that number 1 spot with 4 games to go?
Ooh, I love the East right now. If you're watching the East, you're doing this right now with your hands. You're salivating at the mouth because we are just excited to see this race continue to play out. And yes, it's been nice to watch Miami. And you look at Miami, I know everyone's looking at Miami, looking at the rest of their games saying, all right, they've got the second easiest schedule out of these 4 teams. So can Miami maintain their lead? I think many would say yes, but my sleeper team, I think a team that's had this big resurgence is none other than the Boston Celtics. And look how they've continued to gel. They just blew out my Washington Wizards. I didn't even want to bring that up. That's a sore spot, but they made them look like a JV team that they were playing. And so I think when you look at the East, you're looking at this great play. And then also, oh, by the way, can you ever count out the Bucks and the Giannis Antetokounmpo and what he can do and what that team can do when they're playing at their very best of basketball? And then, of course, kind of at the end of that realm is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think Miami can hold on to that. But again, watch out for Boston, folks. I really do like the Boston Celtics. I don't think there's enough national noise about them. But when they're playing great and they have a full squad and everybody's firing at all cylinders, the Boston Celtics can be a very great team that I think many people will have to look out for and watch out for as they're looking to crown, hopefully, the new NBA champion.
Look, the Celtics have been playing fantastic. I just had my man Josue Pavon. He was on with me on Friday. We're talking about how great they look. He thinks they can go to the conference finals, maybe not the championship. Good. They look good. They look good. The defense is good. So with all that being said, you're right. The Celtics could likely finish up with the number 1 seed, could be the Heat. But who do you think the best team in the East is? Is it the Bucks with the championship medal that they have? Who's the best team in the East, Kelsey?
I mean, if you have Giannis, it's hard to count out the Bucks, right? I mean, and when he turns on, he turns on. I feel like he makes everyone around him better. And they have so many solid pieces that can fire at all cylinders. I had a chance to watch this Bucks team a couple weeks ago in Memphis. And mind you, they lost that game in Memphis, but Memphis is being Memphis and doing crazy Grizzly things. And this is why we're so excited about that squad down there in Tennessee. But nonetheless, the Bucks are a hard team to count out and say that they're not the best. You're looking at Giannis, who some would say is the MVP player this year, right? And so when you have somebody like that, that's also making his team better, again, it's hard to count them out. So I think I like the Bucks. I do also like what Miami is doing. You can't take away what Bam Adebayo is doing. And hey, he's calling for attention. He's like, hey, I've earned the Defensive Player of the Year awards. I think we do have to give some love down to Miami. But again, I like the Celtics a lot, and I like the Bucks. It's not saying I don't believe in Miami, but right now I just don't want to be playing with fool's gold. And I like what they have, but I don't fully have them coming out the East, Dexter. I just don't.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to pick the East right now. So we're talking about some of the teams at the top of the conference right now, but are there any sleeper teams? Maybe a team that we saw like the Hawks last year that made a run to their conference finals. Who's the dangerous sleeper team in the East? Some people have been saying, Kelsey, I know you don't believe in it, but some people have been saying, oh, it's the Nets. If they get in, they're really dangerous. Do you buy that? Who do you have as a dangerous sleeper team or teams in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I want to see who's saying the Nets. I think it's their fans. But, I really do hope that they turn on at the right time. And, I already talked about the Celtics, even though I don't know if you can call them a sleeper anymore because of how they're playing basketball. Toronto's another team, I think, that some are saying, hey, I would watch out for. And then, of course, I think what Chicago has been able to do has been so special this season. And you look at the pieces that Cleveland has. Again, how lucky are we in the East of the NBA to have all of this great play and not know? I love that you brought up the Hawks, because the Hawks was that team that just continued to inspire us just a season ago. And of course, when you have a guy like Trae Young who can shoot anything and obviously just be that guy and say lights out to any team, it's special. But I think for me, I like the Celtics, but I would watch out for Toronto. Something about Toronto, I really do like this NBA season.
Yeah, no, they've been playing good. They got a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, play defense, obviously a championship coach in Nick Nurse. They've looked really good. So, no, Toronto's a good call there. Keep your eye out on them. They just lost a tough game to Miami last night, but they've been really good. Okay, Kelsey, can we go to the coast that's just not as good? Can we go over to the Western Conference?
All right, let's do the Western Conference. I was trying to be nice to them today, Dexter. Like, it's Monday. These folks just woke up. They're just getting to their day jobs and working.
Yeah. We still got we still got to let them know the East is the best. We still got to do that. We got to. Let's go to the West. And the Suns, they've been dominant all year, Kelsey. They've been dominating. They have looked like the best team in the NBA. But do you? Oh, wait, I see a little hesitation there. Do you buy the Suns or the Suns?
I was going to say I like them. If anything,
okay.
In the West, like, I'm excited what I've seen from the Phoenix Suns. They've been giving us great basketball, consistent play, and there's a reason why there is a lot of noise in the West, and why that the West there hasn't been as tight of a race as it is in the East, and that's because the Phoenix Suns have owned that division, and it's not even close. I mean, Devin Booker. Can we say enough about Devin Booker? I mean, what he's averaging in points, rebounds, assists per game. I mean, he's playing lights out basketball, Bridges, and what he's been able to do. I feel like they've had this all around team. And again, they have all the pieces that needed, if healthy. I definitely don't think you can say that there's a better team right now in the NBA than the Phoenix Suns. Again, they're not just number one for no reason, folks. They're number one because of how they've been playing, the consistency that they've been playing at. And oh, by the way, that's why they're chasing the franchise record in wins. Everything right now is going right for Phoenix. So my only hope is that they stay healthy so nothing changes for them.
62-16 on the
Isn't
season.
That special, like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, they've been wildly impressive and dominant. I almost feel like people aren't talking about them enough.
They're not. It's like we've gotten so used to them playing so well. We don't even talk about how great the Suns are.
Yeah.
But guys, they're great for a reason, and they have a chance to win the championship this year because they are so great, and everything is just working for them. And I know some might point to their recent loss and things like that. Everybody has a bad game, right? It just happens. I mean, obviously, Lakers fans know that very well. But the Suns haven't had too many.
Look at you with the shots fired to the Lakers fans.
I promise, folks. But the Suns haven't had as many, obviously, bad games. And when they're on,
right,
they're on. And I feel like they're going to turn it up a notch. Again, that leadership too that they have in that locker room. And that's my only problem with the Grizzlies. I like them, and I know everyone's buying into them, but that leadership aspect, I just don't fully see. But the Suns have that leadership aspect from top down, and that's why it's hard. It's hard to count against that team. And that's why I'm saying the Suns are the best team right now in the NBA.
There you go. Kelsey put her name on that Suns best team in the NBA.
All over it.
Very good. And shots fired at the Lakers fans. But that's a whole nother story.
West Coast hate me. Like, I got a trip out there soon, Dexter. Like, West Coast.
You know what? We got to make sure you're safe when you get out to the West Coast. We can't have you in dangerous waters. They see you out in these streets in LA or something. They're like, oh, that was a girl that was hating on the Lakers. Nah, we don't want that. You mentioned the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think they have been, in my opinion, probably the most impressive story in the NBA this year, Kelsey. I love watching them, extremely exciting, but I think people are going to have questions and concerns about what they can do in the playoffs. Are they for real in your mind? You brought up leadership as something you think that could maybe hinder their success. How far do you think this Grizzlies team can go in the playoffs?
Man, this is the big question because, like you said, they took the NBA by storm. How lucky are we that we get to watch this team? Again, I had a chance to go down to FedEx Forum and watch them in person. I had a chance to watch them beat the Bucks in person. And what they're doing right now without their best player on the court is even that more special. It's just like everyone's playing for each other. They really, truly do love each other. You're not hearing any crazy stories coming out of their locker room or any problems with the head coach like we're starting to hear right now coming from Philadelphia. So I feel like the Grizzlies are a team that you do have to buy into. Again, they've proved that without their best player, folks. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. When their other players are playing as well as they are, you're looking at Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. Like, this is a team that when you look at it on paper at the beginning of the season, you might have not saw that flash that you were looking to see, like we saw with the Lakers, but they've gotten it done. We saw much more than we saw on paper happening on the basketball court. And that's why if you look at the Memphis Grizzlies right now, they're just having fun playing basketball because they're playing Memphis style of basketball. They're commanding leads. They're controlling the time on the clock. They're obviously getting up and down on the court, controlling the pace of basketball play. And this is why this is a team that you cannot take lightly, or you're going to find yourself short and no longer being playing in the NBA playoffs. So I do think the Memphis Grizzlies are for real. Again, that's why I went down to Memphis to actually go see it myself. I witnessed it myself. I saw Giannis playing, and even Giannis not having the game that he wanted to have. So when they're able to go up against the best teams in the NBA, the best players in the NBA, and send them a message and keep this winning streak alive, there's something not only in the water in Memphis, but at FedEx Forum in Memphis. And I wanted to keep going, Dexter, because they're playing that good. Again, I don't have them winning the championship, but I think all that they've been doing is truly special. And this is a team that you do have to have on your radar.
Yeah, I love what they're doing now there. I love watching them. It's my favorite League Pass team to watch this year.
Fun.
I love watching. And you know what? We got to watch them because it's not like we got better things to watch in our home markets right now, Wizards.
You didn't have to go there, Dexter. You didn't have to go there.
Look. You know what? At least we know if you go to Memphis or I go down to Memphis this postseason, we know that the people will treat us well.
Oh my gosh! Look, good basketball and good barbecue. Does it get any better than that? Like,
there you go. Okay, now I got to ask you because I was talking with somebody who was on the show recently who's from Texas. Memphis barbecue, Texas barbecue. What you going with?
Oh, okay. So I just ate a lot of Memphis barbecue, and I kind of regretted it when I went to the doctor on the scale, but it's okay because me and my trainer are going to get it back in shape.
There you go.
Memphis barbecue was so good. Like, it was just off the bone. The barbecue sauce was just, and I'm somebody that is Southern, right? So my family's from New Orleans and Jackson.
Yep.
So I know some good food. And mind you, yes. I'm going Memphis. My fingers, I was looking all up and down Bill Street. I was a very happy woman in Memphis, Tennessee. So if anybody saw me, sorry if I missed you because I was eating my good barbecue.
See, the folks in Memphis, they're really gonna love you now. You're shouting out the barbecue and everything. So they're really gonna love you. Okay, another Western Conference team, the Dallas Mavericks, Kelsey. We know Luka is all world. We know how good Luka is, but he hasn't gotten out of the first round. They've been playing well recently. They can finish as high as third right now in the Western Conference. Do the Mavs get out of the first round this year? Do you think that happens?
I think the Mavs, like you said, they've been trying to get to that place. And, the Mavs, the one thing we're happy about in D.C. is that the Wizards had their way with them recently. So that's a little bright spot for us here in the D.C. area. I had to smile about that. We need something to smile about in D.C., right? Lots happening. You guys saw that report drop for our football team. But nonetheless, to get back to basketball, I do like how the Mavericks are playing. I do think that they can be special this year. Like you said, they have leadership. Again, great style of play. And I think when they're hot, they're hot. So I'm actually going to believe in the Mavs this year, Dexter. I even can't believe I'm saying that. That was not a team that I initially had coming out, but I do think that this could be the year that finally they prove what their true capabilities are, and hopefully live up to the expectations that I think that we have each year for them because of their great style of play.
Yeah, I think this is the year they get it done. I just have a good vibe about them on this year. They've been playing good.
Mavs. It's just like I feel it.
Yeah, I feel the vibe. They've been playing good, especially the last couple of weeks. Dinwiddie's been a huge help for them. Luka looks
I see you can say his name because in DC we're still a little bitter about Dinwiddie.
We'll get to
shade he's been throwing to DC's way. So they feel a little.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out on DC's side. When will it work out?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. Don't worry, DC. We're gonna get to you in a second for sure. We'll get to you. Okay. We both agree. We think the Mavs will do something at least get out the first round of this year's playoffs. I don't know how much further than that. Okay, but
Yeah.
are they one of those teams that you might look at as a dangerous sleeper team in the West? Is it the Nuggets? Is it the Timberwolves? What's a team in the Western Conference that you're like, hey, this team is dangerous, can maybe make some noise as a lower seed in the playoffs?
I think you hit on it. I think the Mavs are a team you have to look up at the Nuggets. Like you said, I think they're a team that you just cannot take for granted. If I'm an NBA team and I'm looking at how they've played as of late, having one of the best players in the league on that team, and even with injuries, still being able to play solid basketball, that is a team that you cannot take for granted. And so I think the West too is not going to be easy riding on either side, the East or the West of the NBA. But I do like the Nuggets. I like the Mavs, but like you, I'm not putting the Mavs as winning in the conference finals, but I do like the Nuggets a lot. So again, I think they're a sleeper team that a lot of us need to be talking much more about if we're really getting serious about our playoff picks for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, got to watch him. Jokic obviously having an MVP season as well.
What can Jokic not do? Like, what can Jokic do?
Nothing apparently.
Basketball.
Nah, he's been balling. Like, he's been balling crazy. I mean, I don't even know about MVP, Kelsey, right now. I can't call it. It could be Jokic.
So close.
It could be Embiid. Could be Giannis.
Could be
I have
Giannis.
no idea.
Embiid.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing. Even Booker, people has a case.
Yep,
So there's been so much great basketball. I mean, it's going to be a close race, I think. But whoever gets called it, I think every person that we've just named has really worked for that title. But Jokic, I mean, just such a diamond, such a jewel. And how lucky are we as basketball fans that we get to watch his greatness? Like, we are privileged, folks, for the great basketball that we've been blessed to see.
Absolutely. We are absolutely privileged to see it. And he's doing it. He's carrying this. Jokic and a bunch of dudes, and he's been carrying them. Okay. Can we bring it back to DC for a second? All
right, hold on. Let me get my emotions in check.
Yeah,
all right. I woke up this morning happy, sun shining in DC, warm weather. All right, I'm ready, Dexter. What you got for DC?
All right, here's what I got. Here's what I got for you. What's up, Kelsey, with your hometown Wizards? When are they gonna get their act together? What's going on? You guys started out the season so great. I had the homie Karita Parks up on the show. We were talking. She was excited about what the Wizards could do, and then things fell apart. What's good with the Wizards?
And so at the beginning of the season, you couldn't tell anybody in DC anything because we were riding high. Like, the Wizards were winning games. We thought they were going to win the East at the beginning of the season. We were like, hold up, wait a minute. Look at these new look Wizards. We brought a bunch of new faces to town, and we thought finally the Wizards organization has got it right. But you know what? Now the joke has been on all of us because the Wizards are eliminated. And so right now, the only thing going good in DC is our new cherry blossom uniforms that I'm sure everybody saw by now. Kyle Kuzma posing in and others posing in, but it's just not good times in Washington. And basically what we've had to get used to in Washington is more mediocrity, right? More mediocre basketball in Washington. And it's been hurtful because every time we're promised when these new pieces come, we've got a brand new head coach at the helm, that things will change, but it's more of the same. And this is why right now you're hearing Bradley Beal always talking about this team. Bradley Beal, 28 years old, and he's trying to figure out, do I stay in Washington and build a legacy here? Will I ever have a real chance to build a championship? Because I've been asking for pieces. And whenever I've gotten those pieces, it just hasn't worked out. This year, Russell Westbrook gone. He goes to LA. We get Spencer Dinwiddie. We have Montrezl Harrell. Things are looking good. Kyle Kuzma has been playing, by the way, some great basketball for Washington. But what it hasn't done is meshed. We have this big trade. All right, KP comes to Washington. Kristaps Porzingis. He has a great first game for Washington. But again, it's now him as a piece. Bradley Beal is injured, and now we're asking all of our other guys to step up, and there's just been no consistency with the Washington Wizards. And it's just been really hurtful for DC fans because we've done this every single year. And once again, we're looking at the East and all this competitive basketball, then we're looking back at our team and like, where we were promised this. Again, at the beginning of the season, I saw more Wizards jerseys in DC than I had seen in a long time. And people were going and buying them off the shelves, Dexter. We were happy. We were excited. We thought this could be an attractive franchise. Finally, players would want to come here to the nation's capital in DC because we were doing something. Something was in the water. And now many fans, though, they're crying for John Wall back. They're like, hey, John Wall's healthy. Wow. Get him back here. He hasn't been doing stuff. At least when he was here, we were a little bit healthy, a little bit happy in Washington. But I think, honestly, Bradley Beal is really seeing what leadership is for a team. And again, I know he's injured, but, for a long time, I think he had asked for this leadership role in this team. And right, it was John Wall's team for so long. It was John Wall City. John Wall obviously leaves. Now Bradley Beal has to step up. Russell Westbrook, we went through that experiment and it worked better here in Washington
than it did in DC.
So we at least had that. Then all of a sudden, when we had gotten used to that, Boom, he's gone. We're bringing new faces. And then just when they start to gel, another big trade happens. And now, again, the Wizards have been officially eliminated. And again, we just gotten so used to mediocrity in DC. It's actually kind of hurtful. Like, it's really hard, I think, for Wizards fans to be Wizards fans because they're like, well, what are we rooting for? And we know this is going to happen every single time. We get new pieces and nothing ever gets to the level that it needs to get to. So basically, Washington fans have just been in sorrow for a long time. So if you see a DC fan, give them a hug, all right? Or if you're COVID, give them a, I don't know, chef's kiss or something. Like, we need some type of positivity in DC.
Check on your Wizards fans. Kelsey, I'm gonna have to be checking on you because I'll be like, are you okay? Are you doing well? All right. Yeah. Listen, and I know some suffering, been rooting for the Knicks for all my life. So
understand it too.
I know some pain, but you guys have been stuck in some mediocrity. We are all hoping things get better. We are hoping that they do. And they don't catfish y'all next season. We don't need that.
I send a prayer up every single night. I have not missed it. So one day it's going to be answered. All right, folks. So keep praying with me. We will have better times in Washington, D.C. And hopefully the Wizards, we were calling ourselves the District of Champions. We had our National Women's Soccer League championships. The Mystics didn't win one. So late, the Capitals and Nationals obviously have won recent championships. So right now we're just waiting for the Commanders and Wizards to catch up. We're not sure who's going to catch up first. Both of them right now are having some tough times. We need a lot of them to come up the ranks.
I don't know why, but I feel like I might actually want to bet on the Wizards in that one.
I think I would too. I think I have to.
Commanders. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Last thing before we wrap. Who's winning the title, Kelsey? Who's winning the 2022 NBA championship? You're going to get to watch all this. You're going to be on Bally Sports through the whole playoffs. Right now, your pick before you start in a couple weeks. Who's winning the NBA championship this year?
Ooh, now this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Because I'll tell you, my initial pick before the season started, and this was before we knew that the Lakers were going to, bamboozle us and take all our cash from us and basically be highway robbed. I had thought the Lakers would be. That's at the beginning of the season. But as of late, I think I'm going to go with my sleeper team. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I like the Boston Celtics and all the pieces that they have in the East. But nonetheless, I'm going to believe in the number one team. And so my pick, Dexter, on your show, I know Phoenix is a number one. They're an easy pick to do, but I love what they're having. And I think that they need to, it's one thing to get this title that they're reaching for, but how perfect would it be to finish off the season with a title? And so I'm going to believe in Phoenix. It's not just going to be great regular season basketball, but great postseason basketball. And so I think the Phoenix Suns have a chance to win it all. But coming out the East again, watch out for the Boston Celtics. I would not be surprised if they make noise this year in the NBA and get themselves to the finals.
You know what, Kelsey? A Celtics Suns final would be really good, especially if you get Robert Williams. I think it would be fun. I think it would be really, really, really fun. I'd like to see it. I'd probably give Phoenix the edge.
Yeah. They have shooters. Yeah. Like, what can Phoenix just looks good on the defensive and offensive sides of the basketball. So how you don't pick Phoenix to win. I mean, I guess if it's another favorite team that you have, but they look good. And again, if this team can stay healthy, I think Phoenix could be hosting up the trophy, which would actually be perfect since the Super Bowl's in Arizona next year.
That's right.
The basketball team, the trophy, and then hopefully maybe the football team.
That is you're actually right about that. I hope we get out to the Super Bowl in Arizona. I was at the last one in 2015 there. Hopefully we get there. Well, we will see who wins the NBA championship. It's the final week of the NBA season. I'm excited to see how all this shakes out. The play-in tournament next week. Then we get to the playoffs where you get to see the great Kelsey Nicole Nelson on Bally Sports. Kelsey, anything else you want to tell the people about where they can find you, follow you? You're doing a million things like me, but tell the people again where they can see you.
Well, first off, shout out to your dope shirt. Love that. Black journalists do matter. Everyone can follow me on social media. I have to give you your proper shout out.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I love you reference. I tried to do the black thing too, Dexter. I knew where you
were. We didn't even talk about it, but we're coordinated. Good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Today. No, you're good. But everyone can follow me on social media, The Real K Nelson. Check out my page on Facebook, LinkedIn, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Also check out my show, Listen In with Cannon on Fox Sports Radio. And please, please, please make sure you subscribe to Bally Sports or follow us on digital platforms for NBA coverage. Once again, excited to be partnering with my guy, Scoopy Robinson, bringing you guys the latest and greatest from NBA playoffs. And I truly do think this year will be special. We'll have you covered daily. So make sure you guys, again, tune in. Bally Sports. Can't wait to connect with good people. And once again, Dexter, thank you so much for having me on. And of course, if you want to just find more, check out my website, KelseyNicoleNelson.com.
Please go check it out. This is a dope sister. I'm so glad we got to connect.
Finally.
We finally got to see each other.
When social media friends become real friends in real life.
Yeah, that's always good. You didn't catfish me. I didn't catfish you.
Nope.
Next time you're in New York, I'm down in DC. We're absolutely going to link and then talk about our misery as basketball fans.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
we'll do it over some mumbo sauce, wings, and fries, so it can be a little bit better. We're gonna have it makes things a little bit better. I promise you.
Done. I'm there for that. That is the great Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Please, everybody, go give her a follow. Check her out on Bally Sports. Support this. My sister doing a lot of great work in journalism. Also on the digital side of things, like myself, I love seeing that. There's so many great opportunities, Kelsey, right now on the digital side of things for us journalists. So it's really good.
Yes,
I'm Dexter Henry. She is Kelsey Nicole Nelson. I almost messed up your name there. Until next time, we will see you guys on the NBA Exchange. Peace and love.
Bye, guys.